Good evening, Mr. John. Thank you for joining us. So, welcome to Geeky Nigeria. We're having an interview today with Mr. John. My name is Honora Linda, and this is Geeky Nigeria. For quality content and publication, visit geeky.com.ng. And let's start. So, Mr. John, please can you introduce yourself to us and tell us your educational background?
Okay, thank you, Miss Linda. My name is Bonire John, and I'm a recent graduate of University of Ilorin, Nigeria, Kwara State, Nigeria, and I hold a first class from my department, that is agricultural economics and farm management, and also graduated as the best graduating student. And recently, I'm undergoing my NYC service at a university where I'm serving as a graduate assistant. So that is just a brief history about my academic background.
Mm. Okay. So thank you for having us, Mr. John. So can you
Uh,
tell us why you studied economics? Why economics?
okay. At the beginning, I will say that I don't have interest in agriculture initially. I'm someone that is after. I'm someone before that is after medicine. I want to study medicine. I have the point writing jam. I wrote 300 plus twice and applying to Unilorin. But that is back to 2017. I was given agriculture. So I honor the course while still preparing for another jam. So in the course of there, then I took another jam. I was offered another admission in which I was that is microbiology.
Mm.
But I figured it out that I prefer agricultural economics. But on getting to my 200 level, um, during the our course and trying to explore things in agriculture, I found out that wow, interested in agriculture more than microbiology and some other courses out there. Then I picked the interest to because we have the opportunity then to apply for we have different departments under agriculture, so we have the opportunity to apply for any department you want to be. So fortunate for me there, I love to be an agricultural economist, and I was motivated by a man that I met then in the course of me meeting people during my creating networks and others. So I love the way he is then. So I was motivated. Then I applied for agricultural economics at my 200 level. As part of the 10 best students in the department, I was given the opportunity to move to the department. So, and since then up to now, I'm highly delighted and happy that I'm an agricultural economist now because I'll be seeing a lot of things in which I believe if I'm not an agricultural economist, I won't have the opportunity.
Mm. Okay, so we've had of medicine, we've had of engineering, we've had of civil engineering, we've had of computer science. So we've rarely heard of agroeconomics. So I don't know. We've even heard of agroeducation. So what is
Yes.
agroeconomics? Can you explain what agroeconomics is?
Okay, likewise. Okay, agricultural economics. So from the two words, like economics of agriculture, that means uh we study how to make use of the scarce resources uh and bring about profitability in businesses and also bring about proper management of the farm. So agricultural economy, just like we have normal regular economics, which is people study for 4 years in school, but this is just let me say another aspect of applied economics. So in this aspect, we combine the knowledge of economics and agriculture So, in order to bring about profitability and proper use of scarce resources in order to achieve goals in agriculture. So we have different aspects under it too. And this, let me say, agricultural economics to me is one of the best aspects of agriculture because you have, especially when you are moved by to bring solution through a data-driven approach, like uh, getting data, analyzing data, bringing out meaning information, then giving out policy in agriculture. Your best choice is to go through agricultural economics.
Oh, okay. So, you know, when you put it in a layman's terms, can you explain to me if I want to start a cabbage farming, how does
Okay.
agricultural economics come in that?
Okay. Let's okay now. You want to start a cabbage farming. Agricultural economics aspect one comes in from the from first thing you have to source for market. This is part of our work because we collect data on based on study areas, different area. We collect data on different things. So for you to know, so you need data. You need to know the market first, where you will sell your product. That is first things. If you don't want to run at a loss, because you cannot eat the garbage by yourself. So one thing in agricultural economy, first approach, we provide data on different aspects. Secondly, we are talking about the capital required. This is how to know that okay, is it a good investment? It's also the work of agricultural economics. Let me say we deal with the financial and the economic aspect of an investment in agriculture. So to start it, okay, this is the sum of money I will be using. It's also the work of agriculture to know that is it sustainable after investing this so much money to this into this business? Will I be able to make profit after some speculative period of time? Is it after 4 months? Will I be able to make this amount of money? Is it okay? So these are work of agriculture. And at the end, when you are in the process of your farming, if you want to know those, we have some farm requirements. Sorry, let me say the farm resources you have to use, those raw materials, including your seed. You have to have, if you need fertilizer or so many other things, you have to know if this thing at the long run, I won't run at a loss. Will it be profitable for me to use all these supplements? So these are the work of agriculture. So mainly we manage a farm. So let me say like farm manager, you have to work on how to manage both human resources and other source of labor.
Hmm. So, with how Nigeria is, many people would seek to go for a more, in their own terms, dignified careers. Like they would go for, like you said, you wanted to do medicine and someone to be lawyers, and because that is what they think the society needs. So I want to ask you this: how exactly does agricultural economics come into play in Nigeria, seeing that
Okay,
we are not a country that feeds itself?
okay, all right. Mainly, if you are in Nigeria currently, is I think is a like is everybody's problem now when we are talking about food security in the
Mm,
country.
yes.
And also, when we are talking about inflation, I think inflation on food items are increasing every day. So this aspect of agriculture now has attract so many bodies, like so many bodies in time of funding. There is so many where you have opportunity to pitch your agricultural business plan for you to get funding right now. So people let me say organization, NGOs, and the government itself are trying to improve the agricultural sector of the country. And we say we can see there is a need for us to improve the agricultural aspect. So
Yeah.
currently, agriculture is one of the best profession to dive in. And in the nearest future, it's still gonna be, if not the best, currently, because you have the opportunity in this country, to make use of agriculture very well. And also, I would also like to chip in about, as a recent graduate, or let me say, sorry, let me just say, as an undergraduate, when you are in school, you should find the, try to gather knowledge about different opportunities, network yourself in agriculture. There is so many, for example, during my undergraduate at my 400 level, I was opportunity to embark on the World Bank sponsored research project in Kwara State, that is, we worked throughout the 21 local government of Kwara State. So this was a nice experience to see that our international bodies are more interested in agriculture and health than, and technology, these three aspects, than every other thing, because these sustainable goals we are talking about, that every bodies, every establishment are trying to achieve right now, deal majorly with agriculture. When you're talking about no poverty, you are talking about no hunger, especially no poverty, because mostly in the African, let me say, most of the workforce are directly or indirectly into agriculture. So if you can tackle the issue of agriculture very well, definitely there will be poverty reduction. So these people are ready. If you have the idea and the capacity to do something meaningful in agriculture, they are ready to fund you. And I know most Nigerians, they are looking for something that can give you turnover as soon as possible, okay, or I can easily get job. Okay, if I go to if I study medicine, I study nursing, I study this, I'll get job easily. That is also, I can say, to some extent they are right. But in agriculture, there is also jobs out there, and there is still this opportunity to start as to start by yourself, like if you have your own company with a minimum capital.
Okay. So you just brought me straight to my next question. Because I was going to ask you, what are the opportunities for anybody that wants to go into agricultural economies? Because I think our audience will be very interested in this, because we've been having lawyers, we've been having, other people, but like you coming on here and telling us about this, I'm very sure they'll be very interested to know what are the job opportunities if they decide to write jam and apply to be an agricultural economist. What are the job opportunities waiting out for them?
Okay. One is that currently, I will for of us cite an example based on Nigeria economy. So in Nigeria, and I'll use myself as an example of some of the opportunity I'll be able to earn in this professional field, that is agriculture. Depending on the area in which you dive in, we have so many areas in agriculture. We're talking about animal nutrition, we talk about the production, the crop aspect, the horticulture aspect, you have the economics, the extension, and so many aspects of agriculture. So if you are studying agriculture, first of all, if you know that, I use this adage that if you, sorry, I use this, I have my own code that if you study agriculture, definitely you cannot go hunger, because you, whatever part of agriculture you delve in time of production, you always have surplus of it. And now, if you are talking about a business, first of all, let me say, when you want to start a business, if you are talking about a business that can easily grow and you make money, is there is agriculture. Agriculture is one of the business currently in Nigeria. We can see from recently some food item that the price increase at a high rate recently when you're talking about tomato, pepper, beans, and others. Just imagine yourself as a farmer, you are producing tons of all this. You are already a big person in the community. And again, in time of scholarship, when you're talking about, because I noticed many undergraduates and graduates are looking for scholarship. There is more scholarship opportunity in agriculture,
Oh.
just like technology and let me say health line. Because recently, uh, when I'm talking about Mastercard, they are talking about Chevy and so many other form of scholarship. They are more interested in food security, and agriculture is the number one aspect to achieve food security in Nigeria. And if you know that you have a solution to this, I'm very sure you will definitely find funding. I've been able to attend so many agricultural hubs. In fact, government organized one, um, NGOs organized one. There are so many hubs for agriculture in which you can pitch your plan, your business plan, and they will fund you. And if you want to leave the country, it's one of an aspects in which you can easily get scholarship into North Americans and so many aspects of the world. And also again, when I'm talking, another opportunity in agriculture is that you're supposed to feel happy that you are feeding people. You know, we feed the world. So it's a good something that you are feeding people and you are making profit from it. So, and finally, what I want to say about agriculture is that when you are producing food, you are collecting from the rich and the poor. You earn from everywhere because everybody will eat. In fact, the beggar on the street will still buy your food because the aim of the beggar begging for money on the street is still also to survive by feeding, and they will still buy your food. The rich will buy, the poor will buy. So you definitely it's easier for you to see market in agriculture.
I agree with you. Everybody wants to survive. Everybody wants to eat. I definitely agree with you. So
Yeah.
let me bring it back to schooling days. So while you were in school, could you tell us what your experience was like having to, you know, read and come out as a top student, as a first class, and having to also interact and socialize?
Okay. Yeah. It was not easy combining the stress and so many activities I engaged myself in the university. One thing I would say uh, the most important thing is that you have to plan yourself. That is planning. I think one of the thing for me to achieve everything is planning. I plan every single step while I was in university.
Wow.
And again, it's for you to know your who you are. We have different people. Also, I like me, I'm not easily influenced by peer pressure. So I move with every set of people in as much I can be. You have something to offer. But if you are not you are a kind of person that is easily influenced by those you music, then you must choose your friends wisely. So let me say now, I started from 100 level. I didn't write first class grade at the beginning. I I didn't write first class grade, but I later just decided that okay, if I want to study medicine and I'm unable to study it, and I'm studying agricultural economics right now, why can't I achieve the best for me? Then I settle down. I I have a plan for every aspect. Let me say, and in getting first class, consistency is the key. You have to continue. I mean, continuously bank your CGPA your CGPA. Sorry, your GPA at every semester for you to come out as a first class student. So starting from my 200 level, I will be writing as a very good CGPA till when I graduated. And fortunate also, I was able to graduate as the best student in the department. and it comes as a surprising way because I was not known. I was not that. Uh, it's only those people that are very close to me in the department knows me very well because I'm a very social person. I doesn't look like I'm a serious person academically because I involved in so many things in the school. So, but one thing I can tell people out there, in fact, if you are running school politics or whatever you are running, if you are determined, you will still get what you want. Everything is planning. You plan yourself. I have time for reading. In fact, during holidays, I read ahead. I collect materials from my senior colleagues. That's what I read during my free period at home. Before we are when we resume, let me say, and one thing I make sure again one excuse that I'm always ahead of lecturers in time of course curriculum. It's rare for a lecturer to overtake me in course curriculum. I read before class. I attend the lecture. I don't miss lecture. I think that is one of the most important things. Don't miss lectures. So I don't miss lectures unless if I there's no way to there's no way for me to attend the lecture. I don't miss lectures. And so if you can put all these things together and again put God first in everything, like I said, I pray very well during my time. Then in fact I pass before I do some exams. I put everything in God's hands. So, like, I prepare as if there's no God, and I pray to God as if I don't have any ability to pass on my own. So that's how I was able to come out as the best in the department.
So you would you say those were the strategies you applied?
Yes, that is the main strategy that I played. That is, like I said, the most important thing for me there was planning. Because let me say, like, I have a specific time in which I have a timetable in my room that I used in reading. And because one thing about if you want to graduate first class, you must able to balance all courses. You must not be a kind of person that pass a course, face some, the average in one. You must be able to pass at least 90 or 8, let me say 90% of your courses at every semester. And to achieve this, you have to have a timetable. And this timetable, you know how to balance yourself, do self-assessment, know the course you are lacking, know the course to read more. Then you should also know when to reach out to friends. Okay, can you teach me this? Can you teach me that? And again, another thing that helped me most is by uh, uh, carrying out by tutoring. I tutored my colleagues so much well. So if a subject that you tutor someone very well, you too you will not forget about it. I was though I was privileged then being one of the brightest students in my state. So I usually have the offer to organize lectures and others, even from lecturers and my uh, let me say faculty representatives. They always calls me for this and that. So by doing so, I always equip myself with different types of knowledge in which everything has come together to achieve this feat.
Okay, thank you. So I like what you were saying earlier, you said you just didn't go through school. School also went through you. That's the way I understood what you were saying. So what was those things that you did apart from studying? What was those other things you involved yourself in?
Okay, like I during my school stage, then I also have, like I said, there's opportunity in agriculture. For example, I told you that I was involved in a research work. Then sometimes I'm far away from the states where I'm schooling itself, working as an assistant researcher, doing some things, and I do all these things too. And sometimes I was involved in some social events like picnic. I go to church every Sunday and some weekly services. So these are things that I involved myself in. But one thing I used to assess every like I say plan, I plan very well. If there is an activity for me to go for and I discover the effect of this activity, sorry, the positive impact of this is higher than the negative impact, I will gladly decline uh such invite then. But um, but if I analyze it and I think this is profitable, I find a way to manage myself. For example, if I miss a lecture, for example, due to one activity, I always, because I move with brilliant students too. The closest, my closest friend also graduated with first class. So I know both of us cannot miss a lecture at a time. So I get the materials, I study it, and make sure by the next class I'm up to date.
Okay, so were there any mentors while you were in school? Were there those that helped you, succeed the way you did?
Okay, really, let me say, okay, I will call my friends as some of my motivators. I will not really say the word mentor, but they motivate me. And also, I have some senior colleagues in which also really motivates me. And also some of my lecturers, I can't be mentioning their name here, especially the lecturer that supervised my project there. These are those people that really, really mentored me very, let me just say, motivate me very well. So um, these are those people that I really appreciate them during my days in school, in which they have positive impact in me. And especially one of my friends will always tell me, because the even in my 300 level, I was not the best student. I have some people that are ahead of me, but they keep on telling me, you have the ability, you can do this, you can upgrade to this. And I can remember that semester, I even I wrote my 5.0 and so many other things in which I was able to achieve the feat at the end. So, like I said, just know your circle, know those people that are around you.
Okay, so like apart from your strategies and your planning and things you did to get to the top, how did you get yourself up when you couldn't reach your goals? How did you motivate yourself apart from your friends telling you, "Oh, you can do this. I believe in you." How was it? Like, because I know at some point it gets draining, and a lot is expected of you because you are a bright student. So how did you deal with all that?
Okay, yeah, thanks for this question. Actually, then there is so much semester. Sorry, I have a lot of semester in which I got disappointed at the end because, like I said, I plan myself. I even have I grade myself before I even start semester. If I'm having a 10 course, if I'm having okay, this semester I'm doing 10 courses, I will grade myself. Okay, this is a okay. I want to have A in this. I do this like okay because this is the next CGPA I want to be in. So this is what I need to get there. Sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. I might not have up to what I expect in some courses. So what but the way I do encourage myself is sorry the way I let me say the way I mitigate the process when I get disappointed sometimes is just to like I would try to go out first of all, free myself from the burden of that's why I say like I involve in social activities very well. I free up myself of the burden. Then when I because sometimes when you are trying to find solution at the point when you are grieved about the stuff, you might make the wrong choice. So I leave. But what I do is that I prepare I double my efforts for the next approach like okay the next semester I double my effort okay I can build myself up and cover those some area in which I was not able to perform very well.
Okay, like I like the fact that you said that. So I wanted to ask, apart from studying and all the things you do, what are your hobbies? What do you do away from studies? What hobbies do you have?
Okay. My hobby mainly during my school days is to go and play table tennis with my friend. I play like let me say I involve in sports and also I play let me say indoor games, video games very well. I mean I'm a I'm a fan of it to the extent I was known very well in the faculty. In fact, I still remember when they gave me opportunity to take a to rotate new intakes. They when they want to introduce me, that is one of the things they said about me that I play a lot of games and how they don't know how that doesn't prevent my success. But I always tell them is planning. Is planning. When you plan yourself, you have fun and you also have success.
Hmm. Okay. I like that. So let's go back to um your research and the things you said you did. So what research work or what project are you most proud of?
Okay. Um, in the let me be specific in agriculture because I've done some things outside agriculture in which I am so proud of.
Okay,
But
it doesn't matter if it's agriculture. Just what project are you most proud of?
okay, um, currently is the project I'm proud of mostly is working with uh, Fadama, that is Fadama in Kwara State, to carry out survey. I earned the opportunity then when I was 300 level or 400 level. I think 300 level. So I was opportunity to join the research team because I'm a kind of person that love research. So when they gave me the opportunity to join the research team, then I was so happy and I gave it all my energy, in which has led me to uh, what one of the things I'm doing currently, in which I'm really proud of, because I was able to impress the organization, both the private and the government that sponsor the project. So I was recommended for with a company which I'm working with right now, which is a Madagascar-based company. So while working with the company, I so much enjoy the work ethics because it gave me room to explore my knowledge uh, very well. And I'm a kind of person that I really love to bring a solution to a pressing issue in areas because currently I work with the company to gather, like I said, agri-economics, you deal with data mainly. But in this aspect, I'm not dealing with data related to agriculture. I'm more or less dealing with data that is related to energy. And the let me see, the electricity condition of some area in this country has been very poor. I also have the opportunity to travel around this as every aspect of this Nigeria to visit people, check the state of their electricity, gather data, organize data. This work I so much uh, love to do.
Oh, okay. So can you give us five ways agricultural economics can contribute to the economic situation of Nigeria?
Okay. Um, Firstly, let me say that by providing data for decision making.
Oh,
One, in this aspect, is more efficient to make decision when you have pure information. And
mm.
this data we process data into the information. So agricultural economics aspect has been involved in getting different data from different aspects in different approach in the country, a type of maybe consumer behaviors and so many other things. And this actually can help the let me say in time of business perspective of farmers to know what to do. And this can actually help to reduce the poverty rate in the country. Secondly, agricultural economics is also useful if given the opportunity in the government to to exercise the full the full capacity of the area in which they are responsible to for analyzing policies that will deal with agriculture. In this aspect, some policy that the government rolls out sometimes has more negative effect than the positive effect on agriculture on agricultural aspect of the country and even the consumer of the product. So agricultural economists are also responsible for policy are also responsible for analyzing policy. And also, again, agricultural economists, like I said, they are mainly involved in management and management and finance, financial aspects of agriculture. And these two aspects are crucial aspects for any organization to be sustainable and successful in this economy, because you need proper management, and this is the service in which an agricultural economist can provide, because we have so many tools that we use to bring about good decision, how to manage human labor in your field, and also, and this will definitely bring about food security in the in the in the society. Also, another aspect in which that is the fourth aspect I want to talk about now is sustainable agriculture. What I mean by sustainable agriculture is that we provide we can agricultural economies not only the aspect, let me say entirely entire agriculture, but agricultural economies provide the necessary
Can you come
information
to
to
the frame?
embark.
Please, you were out of the frame before. Sorry,
Oh,
continue.
okay,
Mm.
sorry. So they bring about efficient use of our resources now, by and we yet we won't compromise the resources for the future generation.
Mm.
So, for example, the rate at which some people, some let me say, some people cut trees and many other things. This has significant effect for the future generation. So, and so many other things, releasing greenhouse gases, all those toxic substances into the atmosphere in the course of producing crops. This all these things has negative impact on the economic at the long run. Though at the short run there might not be any sign, but at the long run there is uh, significant effect. In fact, this global warming, in which is a general challenge now. So these are all these things which agricultural economics play a significant role in. And also, another opportunity that I myself even love to dive in is that agricultural economics bring about development, especially of rural areas. Like I said, if you go to any rural area in Nigeria, 70% of the workforce or workforce will be dealing with agriculture.
Okay.
You can only find few civil servants and others. And if due to this, if you can bring about development of the of rural areas, definitely there will be limited migration of people from rural areas to urban areas, creating, people move down to urban areas to get in time of looking for green pastures, and thereby creating more unemployment rate. So that means agricultural economics can also reduce the number of unemployment in this country, because as an agricultural economist, you can go into any field in agriculture, because you are trained to manage every aspect of agriculture. You
Um,
manage both animal production, crop production, and when you're even talking about processing of food, you are talking about distribution and transportation, every aspect of agriculture required an agricultural economics.
okay, so looking at the agricultural sector today in Nigeria, if you were to have a chance with the Minister of Agriculture in the country, what is that agricultural policy idea that you're going to pitch to him that can help the agricultural sector in the country?
Okay. Um, if I'm opportune to uh, pitch a policy with the current situation of Nigeria now, I will definitely go into um, how will I put this? Like support. Like I mean financial support. Like governments need to create a means because in agriculture now, sorry, need to create a means in which people can easily embark on commercial scale farming. Because currently, most farmers have the knowledge to do this, but there's no the financial capability. And then that means the government are not actually they provide financial support sometimes. Uh, Let me say they provide financial support very well, self in the economy, they, in time of loan, agri loans, and so many other things. But this is not effective enough because most of this time these things are going into the wrong hands. So I will love if they can in this country, if they can bring about um, providing let me say those local governments I can't let me say local governments are more closer to the grassroots. If they can provide each local government with a place in which farmer can easily go to rent machines for what for production because our population is growing is growing at a faster rate. So and we have most of our farmers now currently in Nigeria they use crude implements. In this is the reason why there is inflation everywhere. Fine, we produce the tomato, we produce our beans, everything by ourselves, but there is inflation. In fact,
Mm,
sometimes it's much cheaper to import. The reason is that people are growing this thing from their sweat. They are not they don't have access to enough tools. We only have few commercial farmers in the country. So if the government can take the effort, not just giving money, people mismanage money. If you give them agri loans, most of the time they mismanage it. But if the government can produce avenue in which we have opportunity to rent all these machines, we are talking about tractors, and make sure it is closer to the grassroots. So if people can rent tractors, have also many both farm implements and machineries they can use both in processing and also distribution and production. And if they can make a policy and also implement it to the grassroots, it will be very nice in this country. And this will definitely bring about food security in the country. And also, most importantly, again in the country is that I want to use an example of rice. Why do we prefer foreign rice? If you are talking every day, prefer foreign rice to this. It's because there is no necessary. It's not as if our rice we plant here is totally different from the rice they plant there. It's, but everything is in the processing.
mm,
Nigeria, the government is not supporting the farmer, like I mean the grassroots farmer that are producing the rice. They process all these things manually. That's why you find so many things left over compared to the one we are importing. So if government, because all these things are not easy for those farmers to come together and build, government is the main they are the main point. Like let me say they are in the right position to build this. So build it and make it as a form of what opportunity for them to rent. Government will generate revenue from there. I'm not saying
mm.
this even make it a free something for them. So if they can implement this policy by providing these things at every local government, because I emphasize on the grassroots because grassroots is the main something in agriculture. It's always
Okay.
from the lower aspect to the top, not from the top to the down.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So, you've told us the policy that you would employ. So, can you explain what policy would should be employed to control the weather, the weather changes that disrupt productivity, food productivity in the country. Like you said, a lot of rural areas are where this farming occurs. I'm so sorry that I'm asking you this question, because agriculture is such a broad thing. Is the main existence, is the main foundation in which a nation survives. A nation that cannot feed itself cannot survive. And currently, we are seeing it in our country. We can't feed ourselves, and it's blown into a big problem. And one of that problem, of reason why we can't feed ourselves, is the weather. There are so many um, rural areas that deals with flood, erosion, and just bad weather condition that spoils farm. And there is so many people that run into herdsmen that lead their animals to their crops, their farm, and they eat it up. So, what policy do you advise to control these challenges?
Okay. Let me. Uh, we have so many. Like I can't like if I want to put this right. There's so many problems facing agriculture in Nigeria, and I can say a single policy cannot solve the problem. So this has to be a concurrent and general contribution. It's not only the work of the government, also with uh, the inhabitants of the country too. We have our all of us together. We have area in which we need to partake. So, for example, one of the things that have led to uh, 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 a mass failure in crop production is neglection of some important factors. For example, when I'm talking about flood, we have the weather forecast and every other things out there, which they have given a prior notice months before then. But both the government and the individual in the area always believe it will. I don't know how to put it. They just have the mindset it might not happen. So one thing is that uh, when in this flood, imagine again having some breed as in some dams in which you are seeing cracks, yet the government still leave it there until the thing escalated and destroy kills and destroy crops. So the issue uh, ne- uh, uh, of neglecting the right thing to do is very, very an important aspect in this area. And again, when you're talking about the dispute between herdsmen and the farmers, actually this has led to inflation, hike in price of food because we are getting we are getting fewer farmers to feed more people. So what is the and at the expense of this, these herdsmen actually what they are feeding to, they are feeding their animals, and I think they are source of protein too, and they are very important in the economy too. So the government should have a regulation in which they can provide because you can't leave the cattle herders to provide this for themselves. You have to find them a land in which they can forage successfully, they can graze easily, and this will be like a camped area in which the government should now specify like give the law, okay, this area are meant for grazing. Farmer that is arable farmers to as in to desist from planting or farming in those areas. These are meant for grazing. They have to have regulation for grazing. But actually in this country, like they just we believe that everything can coexist together in the same uh there's always going to be dispute. So the government should look into finding areas in which we have vast. areas of land. Nigeria is blessed. They should look for areas in which they can, these areas should be specific for grazing. Then, any herders that go outside those range to feed their animals can be prosecuted for that. So also, and when I'm talking about another thing that we have to do is that we are talking about that these rural areas too. That is the main aspect. In fact, the elders kill, sorry, the elders also they kill our farmer at the rural area. It's not common in urban area. So this rural area too, the government should also try to give prompt action when there is cases of dispute. We need a prompt action in this, like, some instance until well the until when the an issue rise to the portion that is almost national concern before they try to find solution. So they should try at all costs to provide as to provide. We have agricultural extensionists. These people are closer to the farmer, the grassroots. They should always utilize this means because we have departments for them under this Ministry of Agriculture. All these people need to do their work very well. Visit those farmers regularly, providing them the right knowledge, how to produce everything, take feedback to the from the farmers, then as in propose some solution to it to the government. These are what these farmers are facing. Take a prompt action to deal with it. And this is one of the I think this is one of the main way. They should create a channel of communication that is going to be easier for those farmers to communicate to the top, to the government. And the main route currently under Ministry of Agriculture is using the extension section. There are those ones that extend like from the word extension, it goes to those farmers. And in this area, the government needs to, if they can emphasize that, I believe the farmers know what is wrong with them. Then they will be able to communicate their problem and they will find a sustainable solution to it.
I
And
agree with
And also again, this global warming has been another issue that we have. We are getting unstable weather condition recently, in which sometimes we'll be expecting rain, we will not see rain. The intensity of the sun is so high, everything. This is the actually we are the cause. Especially even though agriculture contributes significant amount of greenhouse gases that cause all these global warming due to our activities. That's why currently there has been that means the government needs to create a training platform in which they should educate those farmers. Some does not know the effect of what they are doing. So they need to educate them about what the effect of this thing they are doing. This is how it's affecting the weather and this the repercussion. So governments need to take emphasis on those areas too.
you. Thank I agree with you on, there should be a dialogue that, brings out a solution. But listening to your solution, there are going to be pushbacks. And I think one of those pushback is you saying giving these headers, places where they can graze with their animals. But every other businesses or any other farmer has to get a land or has to use their land to farm. So if you are giving them a land free of charge, you see how it's not equal. How about they actually get a land? So what would you, what if someone said that to you, or let's just say, what would be your, you know what would be your answer to that pushback?
Okay. Um, like I understand the aspect they are talking about. Actually, the one thing I believe in this, like there's only you have to find a common ground. The what is there is that actually there is still a lot of land in this country. The people are not like I mean they are also
John,
arable land
Mr.
okay,
John, Mr. John, can you hear me? We can't really hear you well, Mr. John.
Okay. Can you hear me well now?
I can hear you better, but there's still a little noise. There's a noise in the background, but continue.
Okay. Sorry. Let me try to.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, okay. So, what I will say is that we need to find a common ground in this country. That is orientation. They need to orientate they need to orientate any concerned stakeholder in those areas. They should know the benefit and also the disadvantage of this. Because one thing, all these animal can't coexist at the same place where there is arable farming, where people are planting their crops. It's not possible. There will always be disputes because farm animals will definitely feed on animals. Though actually, I should have encouraged a commercial form in which people have to find aids, as in they feed their animal, they cage the animal, they provide housing for them. But that currently with our situation, I don't think that is possible because all these elders and people that are involved with it, they don't have the financial capacity to do such. So they still need to take, because that is the cheaper way to produce meat. They need to graze. So they just have to, if they can find a place in which, even though if the government can provide some remuneration for the owner of the land, that will allow them to graze. And I still believe that there is, and there's still land in which people are not using for farming out there, in which they can freely graze in it.
But they belong to people.
Yes, I know, definitely. They belong to people. That's why I say the government can also provide remuneration for the for the for the owner of the land. It might not be in terms of uh, 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 total purchase of the land. It can be in form of leasing. Okay, the government is leasing this specific area for 20 years for this particular set of days to utilize it. And in a like they can find I just know they can find a common ground to provide, because they actually, the farmers, sorry, the elders need the grazing land. It's very important.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. So also let me come back uh, to you specifically. So you know, graduating with a first class, I can't imagine the amount of pressure you must be in. Like, I know people are wondering, what are you going to do? How is your life going? I wanted to ask you, does having a first class does it actually live up to the hype? Does it really give those opportunities they tell us when we're young? Is it actually hype?
Okay, like what I okay, graduating with a first class, which is the highest honor you can get as a graduate, as a recent, sorry, as from undergraduate study. Actually, it creates opportunities, though depending on how you are able to utilize uh, what you have gained. Because in Nigeria, you will be hearing somewhere somehow like maybe education is a scam.
Mm,
Some people have first class that they are bike riders. They do this, they do that. Fine, I'm not disputing that some people actually graduate first class, but they are not doing well with it. But what I'm saying is, when you graduate first class, is also a great way for you to create networks of important people.
mm,
I can say um during when I graduated first class, coming out as a first class, I've been able to create uh a network in which has profited, in which has enhanced my career very well, because there is this sense from everybody when they know you are a first class product. There is always a sense of, I believe this person is intelligent, the person has the ability. So always know how to market yourself. That is one thing, very important aspect. Know how to portray your capabilities. And again, if you graduate to first class, is also an opportunity for you, at least if you are not born with a silver spoon. Achieving the best aspect in education will always prove an edge than others. Okay, let me say when I graduate, I want to use myself as sample. On the day of our convocation, the day I was called for the moment after I was called for the award, all this, all that, I just got a call. I didn't know the man before. I don't know him anywhere. He's a son that comes from my community. I don't know, I've not heard of him. He said when I saw you, I heard about this stuff. See you, I saw you online. I'll be looking for you. From there, I was able to connect with him. He has provided so many things for me since then. He has given me so many opportunities that I didn't believe I can earn on my own. So, and he's always willing. Anytime I called him, I want that, I want this, he will, okay, let me see, let me call one or two person for you if I can get it done for you. And I didn't know him, I didn't make introduction. Only what create the relationship is graduating with first class. Also, when you are looking for scholarship, like you are finding a way to go out there outside the country, having a first class is one of the most important way to end this. If you don't actually have a way to fund yourself outside the country in time of graduate school, having first class will like has automatically give you an edge to get there. So it is very, very it's very important, and I can say it's not a scam at all. It's not a scam. I still remember that Fadama work I did. My CGPA was the source. A man just heard in my CGPA say, wow, in this university that I've been to, how are you able to write this? Can you come to my office? I want to ask you one or two things. Then that's how I was connected. So having that grade can, like I can say, it can create networks of people around, and you should have a defined goals in which, okay, this is what I want to achieve. And especially anybody that is looking to be I want to be an academic, I think having first class will be one of the, okay, you are looking to be, okay, I want to be a professor, I want to be a university lecturer, I want to be a renowned this in academy. No, actually, it's not maybe you have to graduate first class before you can achieve that, but having first class, we make the journey more easier, because people will be ready to help you. People want you, like people will call you for things that you, okay, wow, you know that you need on a note, they won't call you for that because they believe you have a quality that they are lacking most of the time.
Like most people that didn't do the normal, divide courses in Nigeria, when you tell them what you read, there's always this there's always this kind of look, and there are some people like, what's that? What kind of thing is that? So how do you handle such things? Because I know that it is recently, it's of recent now that a lot of people know what philosophy is. And I used to tell people, oh, I did philosophy, and they were, what's that? Like you went to school to read that. Yes.
I understand.
So how do you handle that? How do you handle stuff like
Okay.
that?
Anytime I have such sorry, when anytime I find myself in such instance, one thing is that, like I said, know what you carry. Like know the know the importance of what you study. Know the significant area. And let me say, no, you can also have role models in those areas. For example, now if someone just meet me and tell me what do you study, like how is this relevant to this in our current world? What is this like? I have so many
Like,
things. In fact, I have a role model that can set as an example, like Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, which is the current, is an agricultural economics. And if you study his portfolio from the end to the like from the beginning to the end, he has been in that area. He has been working. I I believe the opportunity for him to even be African development, working with Africa, so being the president of the African Development Bank is that uh, if you study very well, you can see in this country currently how to develop African mainly goes to agriculture because high percentage of people are involved in it. If that sector can be okay, Africa will be developed.
yeah.
So whatever thing you are facing in your area, whatever course, even though it is maybe a language course, either Yoruba education, Hausa education, just try to bring the best and know your, try to show them like, okay, this is what I can do with this. Just try because every courses have its own good aspect and try to utilize it.
Mm. So, okay, thank you for that. Like, thank you so much for that. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are studying that's not so dignified courses, which we know is not true, but you understand what I'm saying in this country. So I'm sure your advice to them is going to help them. So now I come to your goals. What are your long and short term goals?
Okay. Let me start with short time. Okay. Let me start with short term goals. Actually, like I said, I will soon be riding on with my national youth service in the country. My next goal, in which is in that I want to achieve now, is to earn my master degree in agric economics. That is the that is the immediate goal I'm looking forward to. Though I have my ultimate goal, which is the long-term goal, in which I want to actually have an like an agricultural consultation agricultural firm that provide consultation service. Because I said I'm an agricultural economist, I said it at the initial that I want to bring about solution from a data-driven aspect. So, and this every step I'm taking will always take me closer to the goal. So, that is what my ultimate goal is to have a consultation firm in which I can analyze policy, in which I can oversee a state project that is relating to agriculture, how my company will be able to handle so many projects both private and government funded projects, and also I'll be able to provide consultation service to agricultural industries and processing industry. So this is my ultimate goal. That is my long-term goals. But currently, I want to go for my master degree, and this will bring me closer to it. And also, I've been trying because when you have if you set yourself a goal, you must find a way, a path in which you will walk through till you achieve your goals. So definitely, I've been working with so many research areas in which I've been trying to gather experience and every other things about and the agricultural state of this country and South Africa mainly. So um so one thing that I want to be is just to be an agricultural economist that is having my own firm, or let me say consultation company, in which I provide solution to to I provide consultation service to different aspects of agricultural sector in this country, and also overseas projects that is related to agricultural sectors.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. So, what is going to be your advice to our audience and readers that want to go into economy, economics, or what's your advice generally to them?
Okay. My advice generally, if you are going, okay, my advice generally, let me just say, like whatever you are doing, do it well. Whatever you are doing currently, try to do it well. In as much as a good thing, do it well. You don't know what can happen at any time. The next opportunity might be tied to what you are doing currently. So do it very well. Bring out the best out, and also set a goal. And is what I would advise people only dwell on their ultimate goal. They have that bigger goal. Okay, I want to be one day, I want to be the president of this nation, I want to be the minister, I want to be this, I want to be that. Fine, is you have to, it's a good thing to write those such goals, but you need to know your short term, you need to plan yourself, because there's always path to that higher position. So always dwell on your shorter goals, achieve them, definitely you will get to the top where you are aiming at. So my advice to people is that, and also my advice particularly to anybody that want to study agricultural economics, I want to see yourself as as the as the the savior of agricultural sector, because you deal with all the aspects. All the aspects need your advice. All the aspects need your assistance. So if you are going to this area, my advice for you is to try beyond academics. Try to equip yourself with practical experiences. Is very important especially in agriculture generally. Academic, that means theoretically, you might not find solution alone using theoretical approach alone. You also need practical, because agriculture is a practical, it's a profession that deal with practical aspects the most. So you have to emphasize on gaining experience and try to look out there. There is so many opportunity, so many agri business seminars you can register for, and so many other things. So try to equip yourself with enough information to reach your goal.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. John. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for being such a delight. I learned about a lot about agriculture, economics, and I'm sure our audience did, and I'm sure our readers would when they get to read your interview. Thank you so much for having us. You're such a delight.
All right.
So hi guys, this is Geeky Nigeria, and thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for joining us today. For quality content and publication, visit geeky.com.ng, geekynigeria.com.ng. So please, guys, we're going to have the article letter published of this interview on geekynigeria.com.ng. So guys, please visit the website and read on this interview. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for being with us throughout this interview. See you guys next time. Bye.
All right.
That